Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So, I guess now you can easily tell the difference among artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. You know the basic idea about these three terms, not in deep, but basic idea. Now, before moving further into generative AI, let's discuss in brief first history of AI when this artificial intelligence came into picture. Now, maybe you are thinking that in recent years, 3, 4, 5 years, we heard about AI more and more after ChatGPT came into picture, but it's not like that. The birth of AI is in 1950s. It's not a new term. It came into picture in 1950s. In 1950, Alan Turing published a research paper, and in that research paper, he asked, "Can machine think?" A simple question. Let me show you that research paper first. So this is the research paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence, and in this research paper, he simply asked a question: Can machine think? And this question is the main reason that nowadays you have to ask such type of question, that will AI going to take our job? This simple question. This is the birth of AI. So now in this paper, after that, like he also proposes a Turing test. Initially the test name was the imitation game, this test, but after later, uh, this test was named Turing test. And what is this Turing test? Let me show you. So see, in Turing test, what is this test? I'll tell you in brief. So a test would be evaluated. There is an evaluator, a person, suppose, and in one room there is one computer, and in one room there is another person. This person is the judge, or you can say evaluator, but they cannot see each other, right? Now, in one room we are having machine, a computer. In one room we are having another human. So now this evaluator, he or she, the evaluator has to analyze. Like he'll ask few questions, text questions. Nobody will say anything. In just text question, he'll ask computer, and this person will answer those questions. And if this person within that time frame, after asking few questions within 5 to 10 minutes, is not able to distinguish which is machine and which is human, that means the machine passed this Turing test, right? This machine can mimic human behavior because this evaluator is not able to distinguish that the answer is coming from a machine or from a human, right? So means this machine has passed this test, this Turing test. This is basically Turing test. The basic idea in simple terms I have explained this Turing test to you. And ChatGPT already passed this Turing test, right? So if a machine can fool a human evaluator into believing it's human, like it is a human, not a machine, then it passes the test. This is Turing test. The evaluator asks questions via text interface to both the human and the computer, right? And today's like virtual assistant in our phone, we are having virtual assistant attempt to mimic human conversation, and many chatbots, even ChatGPT has passed this Turing test. So he proposes at that time Turing test to uh, evaluate the machine. I mean, to find out that can machine think like we human think, right? After that, in 1956, there was a conference, and at that conference, basically this term came into picture: artificial intelligence, the very first time in that conference, right? So the first official use of artificial intelligence as a field name. Officially, AI was, you know, adopted as a field after that. Artificial intelligence in 1956 in that conference organized by John McCarthy. And after that, I mean, a team of researchers started working in this field, in AI field, right? Now, after in 1960s, these years was full of hope. So researchers were working, worked on reasoning and problem solving using logics and rules. They write down hard coded rules. If this, then this, if this, then this, to help machine to think and to understand on hard coded rules. Still, machines are not able to learn itself. They provide their rules and all. And then, like Eliza chatbot was created, but it was not successful. Actually, the chatbot that mimicked a psychotherapist. but there were some problems in this chatbot also. So it was not that much, you can say, matching the hype of AI or the expectations, right? And during this year now, government agencies provide millions into AI research, right? So after that, okay, after that in 1970s, this was, like, you can say, the first AI winter. First AI winter means computers were too slow and the results were not according to the expectation. Whatever AI hype was there, the results were not according to that. So what, funding dropped, government agencies slashed their AI budget. Because of that, what, both the progress and the support froze. So during this time, this was the first AI winter. After that, in 1980s, early 1980s, from 1980 to 87, it was an era of rise of expert systems. Yeah, researcher was still working, even though in 1960s budget were not that much, like funding were not provided, but still researchers were working. So after, in the early 1980s, few expert systems were made, like mycin, medical diagnosis system for bacterial infection, could help in medical diagnosis. Exon helped configure computer systems. But now during this time, AI companies valued over $1 billion collectively. So yeah, but after that, these systems, these expert systems were hard to maintain and very costly. So that's why again a second AI winter came in late 80s, from 1987 to 19, around 92 and 93. Again, see, these expert system used if then rule. So they have hard coded few rules to solve domain specific problems. Like, this is for medical diagnosis, this is for to help configure computer systems. So domain specific problems, they have hard coded few rules, but still they were costly and they were hard to maintain. So that's why in late 90s, second AI winter came. Expert system couldn't easily expand beyond their programming because they were hard coded. So they have limited knowledge, right? And specialized AI workstations, obviously, to work on this AI and all, there was not simple desktop. They were working these things. These models were working. So there was specialized AI workstation. But at that time, desktop were revolving. This was desktop evolution and during that time. So because of that, these specialized AI workstation became obsolete as PCs grew powerful, more computational power in PCs. And these expert systems were very expensive and hard to maintain. So that's why what happened, research continued with less hype and more realistic goals. So this was AI winter, second AI winter, but still researchers were working still. Now, after that, in 1990s, this was a time of machine learning and games. Now they changed their approach from hard coded rules to machine learning, to learning algorithm, learn from data. So machine learning came into picture during that time, right? And after that, in 1997, this was a major milestone. IBM's Deep Blue system defeated, a world chess champion, proving that AI can even master the most complex games like chess. Because this system, AI system, defeated the world chess championship, right? And this was an era of early deep learning techniques. Now, during this time, AI began focusing on specific tasks rather than general intelligence. Now the era of 2000 came into picture, and at this time AI enters into a real life, in everyday life. But I think we may not have noticed this thing. You know, at that time there was growth of digital data, internet was also booming, and so data was there. So growth of data was there, data availability and computational power as well as an algorithm. So, and that's exactly will be needed to train a AI model. Data as well as computational power and algorithms, solid algorithms. What else they need? So then it's a boom in again modern AI era. So AI enters into everyday life. Like this Roomba came into picture. This was an vacuum cleaner, and Google search AI powered algorithm revolutionized information retrieval, like in search engines and as well as recommendation systems. Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, they started using this AIs to enhance user experience, to save, to learn from your preferences and recommend you accordingly, right? Smartphones, like, we got voice recognition and predictive text become more common at that time. Okay, so this is the era when AI enters into a real life, into everyday life. But we, I guess, didn't notice that this thing at that time. So in 2011, IBM Watson, this system defeated human champions on Jeopardy. This was a quiz show on television, and there was, I guess, two former champions, and this system defeated those two champions in this quiz show. So now, obviously, this has proved that now machines could understand and respond to natural language also, right? But at a level competitive with human experts, even with human expert, or even better than those. So this was a major milestone. And in the same year, Apple also released Siri, the first virtual assistant. In 2012, AlexNet, this was also a deep learning model, won a competition ImageNet, proving that deep learning power in image recognition. Basically, their system excel in recognizing cats with unsupervised data, unlabeled data. No background information was provided. So they were using deep learning neural networks. So this was also a major milestone. Okay. After that, in 2016, I guess you have heard this news that humanoid robot Sophia, the first robot citizen, which get the citizenship of Saudi Arabia. Human-like robot was there, can see, can, you can say, replicate the emotions and can respond accordingly. Okay, this came into picture, and after that, in 17, this was also a major milestone. In 17, Google Brain team published a paper, and in that paper published a concept of transformer transformer architecture. This was really playing a big role nowadays in chat gpts. So they introduced, the paper name was Attention is All You Need, and they introduced the transformer architecture, revolutionizing natural language processing. Due to its, the core idea was self attention mechanism. Self attention, the core idea is that the model can pay attention to different parts of the input, like a sentence, while processing each word. So this helps to improve the context in which we are talking with the model, right? So this enabled the machine to better understand context in language, like, in ChatGPT. When if I ask to ChatGPT that, do you know something about Jayanti Khatri? So it will tell me. Then next question I'll ask, is she a good teacher? I'm not asking that is Jayanti Khatri a good teacher. I'm just asking, is she a good teacher? So ChatGPT understand the context. She, I'm using in the context of Jayanti Khatri only, right? So this is basically the term we are using, the context, understanding the context. So ChatGPT can easily understand the context we are talking about. Like we human also do conversation in this way only, right? We can understand that if I'm saying she, then I'm, you can say, talking about Jayanti Khatri. Even if a machine can also understand, because of this model, this architecture, transformer model, right? After this 17 year, the next year only, OpenAI released their first GPT first, the birth of GPT, we can say, generative pre-trained transformer. Okay, and this, obviously, the name suggests this user that the previous transformer architecture, that model to train their this model GPT first. After that, we know that this 117 million parameters. So this was a little bit less, having only 117 million parameters only, not billions. But this marked the beginning of a new era in this language AI, chat GPTs. After that, GPT, now GPT 3, 4, 4.5 is there. Okay. So because of this, we could generate text from simple prompts. And now we are in 20s. So this is the era of, we can say, generative AI and AGI, artificial general intelligence. But let's see we'll reach till AGI or not. But we are in the phase of generative AI now in 2020s. Generative AI means now we have those models like ChatGPT, Bard, we can have Delhi, Mid Journey, and using this we can generate image, text, audio, video, code. Using GitHub Copilot we can generate code. So we can generate these many things with simple prompts, with just simple prompts. Just write a story on this, and you will get the story, complete story in 100 words. So in 100 words you will get the story. You will ask simply, generate a picture of a cat eating something or drinking milk on moon maybe. So a picture would be there of a cute cat doing the same thing. With just simple prompts we can do this thing. So now we are in the era of generative AI. Okay, these models are trained on huge data set, using deep learning, deep neural networks, exactly behaving like human brain, like having neurons, multi-layer neurons, and like this connected with each other. And they are so powerful. But still the questions are about AI ethics, security, privacy, and future of work. So these are still the question, debate topics. Okay. And now generative AI tools reach hundreds of millions of users. We know this thing right now. Okay. And investment or also in AI startup are like rising up to like high level. But still, this is a debate. Will we reach to AGI, artificial general intelligence? Can machine that can think and learn like we human do? Is it possible completely? Let's see. This is still debatable topic. It will happen or not in future. So I guess now you have some idea uh, that where this AI starts and now where we are. This all started from a simple question: can machine think? And now see where we are. Okay. So this is all about, you can say, history of AI. Now in the next lecture we will be discussing about generative AI. So now I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care.